Welcome to Toni Unleashed, the podcast, where I unleash the truth about all things pets. My research and anecdotal evidence, paired with expert interviews, will help your pet thrive. I'm here to answer questions, share insights, and spread awareness about what's really going on in the world of pets. I'm Toni Unleashed with 25 years of experience in the pet space. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Toni Unleashed. And I am here in-house, very excited to have Victoria Chester, also known as Vicky.
Yay.
And she is the founder of Izzie Fund. And first, Vicky, I want to hear your story as I still adjust my mic. So tell me how the Izzie Fund came to be.
Sure. So thank you for having me.
You're
is
welcome.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I love it here. I get to be hanging out with dogs all day too. So it's great. The Izzie Fund. So Izzie was my Izzie. And it came to be not so easily. I think I always had a vision, and it honestly came from such a deep a place of grief, I guess you could say and put it.
Yeah.
So Izzie was my Izzie. Some people call it your heart dog. Some people call it your soul dog. She was truly my soulmate. Izzie was with me she was 1 month shy of her 15th birthday.
Wow.
And I lost her in February of 2021. And she really was like my ride and die. She had been there through so much. And losing her was such a sense of grief, and I had other losses. I don't know if we want to get into those, but there was probably a 5-year period of just loss after loss after loss that when I lost her, I don't know if it was just that she truly was my everything or if it was just, I'm sure, a buildup
Compilation of everything.
Of grief. And so, losing her was very, very difficult. And I remember thinking, after losing her, like I just want to do something. Like I kind of wanted to do something. I never thought I would open a 501c3. I never thought I'd have a charity. I thought perhaps I'd go down the road of like a donor advisor account in a way. Yeah. And then the more we explored that piece of it, it couldn't do exactly what I wanted it to do. And I really wanted to help other pet owners. My goal and my attention was when I lost Izzie, the only thing that kind of brought me some grief or took me out of the grief and brought me some peace was knowing, and I say this on things, but like she left this world with no what ifs. Like that very first bill that we had to pay, she got diagnosed in November. It was December 1st, actually, but November is when she started getting sick. She was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension. Yeah. So I'll kind of take us back through that time first, which I didn't know enough. Like I kind of thought, it's hypertension. Like that's kind of easy to treat. Sure. Realized, it's a very serious heart condition. Yeah. And so we did everything we could. We worked with a cardiologist. I always said, as long as she can handle it, as long as her little body can handle it, and you think that there is a chance that we can help her and get her comfortable, I'll keep going. And I was fortunate enough to keep going. Yeah. And I don't know if I've ever shared this, but like we spent about $20,000 in 2 months.
Yeah. In 2 months?
In 2.5 months.
Oh my gosh.
So between the hospital visits, I had oxygen therapy at home for her. Oh. I was getting all of her medicine compounded because it was hard for her to swallow a pill. Oh. And then like the food, just trying to get her anything she'll eat to keep it down and to keep her, keep her strong. It was a lot. And losing her shortly thereafter, I started thinking of like different ideas. Like I couldn't imagine if I didn't have that opportunity to know I did what I could do. Right. Like I did the best I could do. Right.
So you have no regrets. She died with no what ifs.
Yes.
So in other words, you feel that you did everything you could for her, which gave you peace of mind as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's huge.
It's very big. And so I'll take us down another little path too. My niece, when she was applying for college, she was applying to a lot of different scholarships, right? Yeah. She needed scholarships. I'll still remember she got I think it was $2,000 scholarship for being left-handed. there was a left-handed scholarship out there. And I remember saying to my husband, like, if they can give $2,000 to someone who's left-handed, we could give $2,000 to somebody to keep the dog in the home.
Yeah.
And so that sort of started to become the premise of what I wanted to do.
That's wild.
It is wild.
That's wild.
And the day that I lost Izzie, the other thing, when we came back from the hospital, and I didn't share this story much. I'm trying to think of stories too that I haven't shared yet. But Izzie she didn't pass at the hospital. It was a February morning. I'll try not to cry. Yeah. February morning, and I could just tell, like, we got to get to the hospital. You could tell her breathing was hard. And sorry not to cry. We were driving to the hospital. Thank God we live so close. But we were at a red light, and she was in my arms, my husband driving, and she looked up at me, and she was so weak. She lifted her head, and so I bent down to reach her. She pushed her nose against mine so hard. Oh. And she sat there till the light turned green, and we went, and I felt 3 breaths, and she was gone.
Oh my God. Oh.
So when they took her in, because at that time, they were still being very cautious of who could go in and out because of COVID. Yeah. When they met me, and they were wonderful, I called ahead. They grabbed her out of my arms, and I knew the answer. And thank God, because the other fear I had during that whole time of COVID was every time we brought her there and she went back, I just wanted to be with her if something happened.
I know.
So.
I know.
But we get home and I looked at the medicine. That was like a trigger. Like, oh my God, I don't want to see any of this medicine. So I'm picking it up. And we had pills. We had compounded medicine. I was picking it up and I'm ready to throw it out. My husband's like, oh my God, like it's so expensive. And half those bottles aren't even open yet. I said, no one's going to take them. Like nobody's taking these. Well, I called Animal Friends. And the vet said to me, we'll take them in the clinic. Yeah. Like, I'm like, they're not even open yet. So my husband ran them down. And then, I don't know, it had been like maybe 2 weeks later, I get a card. I still have the card. A card came from Animal Friends, and it was addressed to Izzie, not me. So it said, Dear Izzie.
Oh, I'm going to cry.
I know. Thank you for helping the homeless dogs in the shelter. And everyone signed the card. And that was the final thing. Like, I'm doing this because they're thanking her, not me.
Right.
And here she is gone and she's still pushing it forward. And that's where it became like, okay, let me look into this to see what needs to happen to make this happen.
Wow.
You know, it's a lot.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. What a story. And when you know, like, that you just keep getting shifted and keep getting signs of things, like, that's what gets you, that's what gives you peace of mind, knowing that I got to take this jump, even though it's a little bit scary, right? Was it a little bit?
Very scary. Very scary. And I think for a little while, probably 2 years before Izzie passed, I kept thinking about purpose, you know, because I mentioned there were losses. So you do wonder, like, what is the purpose of this? Like, what is the purpose of this? And why did these things happen? And so when she left, the purpose sort of became clear to me. Like, it was something preparing me for this. And that's where I see myself going. That's where, you know, I'd love to, I work full time. I always call it my part-time passion. All of us are volunteers. We're all trying to make this happen. But eventually this is the path I'd like to be and really take it to as far as I could take it.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So that started what year?
That was in 2021.
She passed.
She passed in 2021, probably in April. I think it was like April, May. We submitted the paperwork to start the charity to start the process. And at that time, it took a while. Like, I wasn't expecting, every time I went to log in to see my application, it says if your application was submitted prior to, it must have been June I submitted, because if it was submitted prior to June, we haven't touched it yet. Like, they were so far behind and backed up.
Like everybody else at that time.
Yeah. And so in October, I get home from a vacation, and it was like October 1st. I open my mail and there's the letter saying that we found it. So I was like, wow. So I had to get a lot of things ready. Like you had to get a website ready. You had to get the bank account, like everything set up, get all of our board, formation documents in place. So I was ready to go sort of at the top of the year. But one of the things I did with Izzie all the time is I used to pinky swear. I'd grab that little pinky and I'd say, we are going to have the biggest and baddest sweet 16 birthday party for you. So I always thought she'd make it to 16. And so when it became clear, obviously she's not here, I was like, I want to do it I want to launch the charity on what would have been her 16th birthday. So in 2022, March 21st is when I launched the charity.
Aw.
Yeah, officially.
Yeah. So your 3 year is coming up.
Yep.
And it's being celebrated. Where is it being celebrated?
At the dog pen in the Strip District. So they've been wonderful. They've been really, really great. They're new themselves. And so, and husband and wife team, it's just they've been amazing to work with so far. And it's going to be on Sunday, April 6th.
Sunday, April 6th at the dog pen is the Izzie Fund 3rd birthday bash.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's very exciting.
And it's a fun fundraiser for us. I always say the Izzie Fund brings the fun.
Yeah. And do you have to register or anything like that?
Yes.
Or is it you do?
So you can go to our website, and our website is the Izzie Fund, and I do spell Izzie, Izzie, not Y. So it's the IzzieFund.org.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then you can go there under events and you'll see the registration for it.
And we'll have that in our show notes as well.
Perfect.
The only bad part is I'm out of town.
I know.
And I won't be able to make
We'll have more
I'm
events.
So I know.
You were one of the first places we went to for an event.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the very first things I did is I started more grassroots, and it was, I'm so big on community for one. The other thing is like I'm the baby of 4. Like there's 4 girls in our family. I've got 3 nieces. I also have 2 nephews, or my sister would kill me if I didn't say that. But I am a very girl power kind of person, and so I really started to. I love working with. I get so inspired by connecting with and working with female entrepreneurs. Yeah. And so I really did start to reach out to some of the women business owners. And we started with, really a table and a tablecloth inside the store and getting the word out. And I think you were probably the first place that we set up here in the North Hills that we set up a table. And you've been great to us the entire time. So that's awesome. It's kind of full circle of being here today. I didn't realize
I was like the first. I remember Sandy reaching out and saying, hey, my neighbor, Vicky, she really wants to talk to you and get involved and come and have a table at the store. I'm like, well, just tell her to call me. Yeah. I'll talk to her.
Yep.
So I remember the first time, kind of. Like, I don't think I was working that day, but I remember you being there and setting up.
Yeah. And your whole team has been, like, the whole team was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like, you could just work with this person and that person. It's like everybody had been so great and just even promoting us and donating to us, through in-kind donations and the toys and the raffle baskets. All of that has been so important to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to be celebrating the 3rd year. So do you want to talk about any specific success stories?
Yeah.
Give us some examples of what the Izzie Fund has done.
Yeah, great. Okay. So I guess it's probably good to start with what we do. So the Izzie Fund helps what we say responsible dog owners. We help responsible dog owners that are struggling with the cost of specialized care. So we don't cover 2 things. Let me tell you first what we don't cover and why. Yeah. We don't do general care. I do kind of help, obviously, like you have a dog, the general care. We don't do emergency room or like super urgent care because I do work full time. So if someone is contacting me, they're down at the hospital and something I can't make those decisions. Like we're working, all of us.
Right.
So what we do is specialized care, which is exactly what Izzie had. It's that above and beyond care. And that's where I saw the cost, heart condition. Oh my gosh, like the echocardiograms, all of that. So we help cover when you've been diagnosed, when your dog has been diagnosed with something pretty serious or a condition, and they have a treatment plan. Like, here's my advanced treatment plan. I don't know how I'm going to cover it. That's when you could reach out to us and we can go through the process of requesting assistance. And then, our vision, we were talking about this before this show, and it goes back to my story. I just would love to get to a point where, family owned, like pet owners are not making decisions and factoring decisions on cost alone.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you've got to weigh some of those things in, but you've also got to weigh in, the health of the dog, all of that. But I don't want it to be a cost decision. And so too often, and there's so many statistics, I mean, I could share them, you could look them up, everyone can look them up, but we all know this. There are so many, like the top 5 reasons dogs are either surrendered or euthanized. Mm-hmm. Those heartbreaking decisions, healthcare, the cost of veterinarian care, it's in the top 3.
Yep.
And during COVID, you saw the shelters starting to clean out a little bit. But now the stats are really showing like they're just coming back more and more.
Yep.
And the economy. I mean, you talk about, I don't want to date this podcast, but we're talking about the cost of eggs, like eggs, and imagine an echocardiogram, a surgery, any of those kinds of items.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've helped. It's not so much the number of dogs, because our average grant is about $2,000. So one of the things when the Izzie Fund first started, before I even, like, as I submitted the paperwork and worked on the whole premise of the charity, I did my research.
Okay.
We really don't have that many funds around here that are or options to keep the dog in the home. We've got great shelters. We really do. Mm-hmm. There are veterinarian offices that have, they have their own kind of, maybe a wealthier client of theirs set up a fund. But like most that I've found, I mean, correct me if I'm, but most of them have been $200, $250. There's nobody out there in this area that I see that other than national. There are a few national accounts, like Betty White's account that she used to give to. But there are a few national organizations. But for the most part, there's nothing here in our own backyard helping at that kind of cost. So to date, we've done 19 dogs, I think now, that we've helped help keep in the home, help with treatment. And we've granted a little over $35,000 in grants.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yep. And we're going to keep going.
How did you come up with 2,000? I'm just curious.
I started looking at the average cost. It's interesting you said that. So we were looking at, I did look at what some of the other national organizations were doing, and it was right around $2,000. And then I did some other research. But one of the decisions, we have a new board that came into place this year. A new board member. But one of the things that we recently looked at is perhaps we set a budget for the year. Like, this is what we have to spend on dogs. Mm-hmm. And we look at the cases individually. And and so we just implemented that. So therefore, our newest dog, who was just featured not too long ago, Keanu, he's receiving chemotherapy and he has 4 sessions left. And so the Izzie Fund is covering those 4 sessions. So it is going to be a little over $2,000. Okay. But we've had other dogs that have come in that, their treatment was $800 or $900. So, we are very small. We're all volunteer based. Yeah. We'll talk kind of about how we get donations. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But with the money that we have being so small, we do have to be wise with what we're doing. So we do look for a treatment plan. We pay directly to the veterinarian. So we do not cover past treatment, unfortunately. It's, you have a treatment plan. We're going to work with that veterinarian office to cover that bill. And so that's kind of how we try to manage the cost as much as possible.
Okay. So how do you raise money?
Yep. So we could talk about that because it's important. Being so small and so new, we aren't eligible for a ton of grants, which has been one of our biggest challenges. Like most of the bigger grants, they're looking for you to be around for about 5 years to show stability, to show sustainability. So individual donations, they're our lifeline. Wow. Like receiving donations have been our lifeline. And we've had a few donors, especially that have just really believed in our cause and helped us not only financially, but helped us like, you should talk to this person. You should talk to
connections.
I feel like I'm like dad when I say this, but like, I'll talk to anybody you tell me to talk to. You think I should talk to someone? I'm going to call and I'm going to set up that meeting. My dad would push me to do something like that. So it's funny. I have his voice always in my head because he's not here. He passed in 2017. So he hasn't seen what we've done, or I believe he has seen it, but
he has seen it.
He's seen it, but I have his voice in me a lot because he was always pushed us. He always told us we could be whatever we wanted to be. We just got to work hard.
So important to have parents like that.
Yeah.
My parents were the same way.
Yep. But yeah, so donations are important. We do community events, even just being, like I said, being in your store. Last year, we raised $15,000 from our community events.
Wow.
Which is great. And
That's
they're fun
huge.
events. They're like at breweries or they're at the store and we've got our raffle basket and we do spin the wheel. We do like fun things to raise. And we raise those dollars to go directly back to the dogs. So really between the donations, the in-kind donations, which ultimately save us money. If you're donating a raffle basket to us, that's one less thing we have to buy for some of our fundraising events. So I think the in-kind donations, and then we did start to get our first grant last year in December, which made me really, really happy. So I did apply locally for a grant. And I think that's how we're going to have to do it for now, is just focus. Our strategy is to focus on more of those like local grants.
Okay.
Because we'll get lost in the shuffle right now with some of the bigger organizations that do grant.
Are you writing all these grants? Are you personally doing all this?
Yeah, we can. Yes. But let me tell you. So
you have a grant writer that volunteers a little bit of time?
We sure do. So when we made changes to our board, it was, and the original board, they were my best friends and they went with me because you need 3 people, right, to start a charity. So they were with me all the way. But when they were ready to kind of move on, I was very strategic in trying to get the right people in. So Mary, who is our secretary, her whole entire career has been with a very large nonprofit, not in the animal space, but she has been amazing with not even that, but like helping us set up like a donor management system, helping write the grants. It has been helping us find the grants. Like she has that. That skill set and that cost alone. Yeah, I talked to a grant writer way in the beginning, and she's like, "Oh, honey, you can't afford me."
It's very detail oriented. I could never do such a thing. I know it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. It really is. So to have her join our team and amazing. To have her, she's rescued pets her whole life. She's got 2 right now. Just to have awesome. You have to have the passion, right, too, in what we do. And so for her to have that passion and that skill set was pretty amazing. Yes. And then you probably know our treasurer, Teresa.
Yes. I was excited to see Teresa there.
I was so excited. Yes. So, being a treasurer, having a finance background or accounting background, but my gosh, does her background just like match us to a T. And she's been a supporter of ours since, since probably very early on. So to have that right team in place has been really, really amazing. And then it takes things off my plate so that I can focus on the strategy. And I don't want to forget Megan. Megan is also on our team. She's the executive director. Again, all of us work full time. But she is planning all of our events. She keeps me in track. She does like all of our spreadsheets, everything's set up for us. And she's just been amazing to bounce ideas off of. And you and I were talking before the podcast about a nice way of saying diversity of thought, right?
Yes.
Megan and I, we can go head to head. And it was so funny. I remember Teresa, who just met with us because we closed out our books for 2024 and she helped us. Teresa was laughing. She's like, they were fighting the whole time. I'm like laughing. I'm like, oh, that's just how we banter. But we come to a really good place in the end. Like, I think hearing her point of view, hearing my point of view, and then we get to where we really should be. And it's fun having that kind of relationship. I think it's being raised with all sisters. You kind of have to have that, that kind of give and take and the fighting and the making up and the, that kind of thing.
It's challenging. It's challenging, but a successful board is diversified. So, and I'm on a board for Indie Pet, which is an independent pet organization to help strengthen the independent pet stores in the nation.
Wow.
And we have I had 4 stores. I'm down to 1 on the board, but then we have people that have 60 stores. And at first I was like, they're not truly independent. They have a little bit of, venture capitalist money in there, blah, 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 blah. And I was really adverse towards it, but they bring a lot to the table. Yeah. They really have helped us look at things differently. And I've done the smaller mom and pop ones on the board. Yep. We've done the same thing for them. Remember what it was like when you had one store. You know what I mean? So at first I was really pissed and really like, this is not truly about independent pet, but it really is. Mm-hmm. So just a flip story about, diversity. And it's hard to work through, but that's the most successful board to have, I think.
I think so too. I think just being able to talk things through and hear different points of view. You have to be open. And I think all of us are open, and that's what makes it what makes it good.
Yeah. And it's not about your ego. Nope. It's about the end goal.
Exactly.
Keep your ego out of it.
Yes.
Yep.
Pride and ego will kill you, right?
Yes. Yeah. Pride and ego will kill you.
Yep.
For sure. For sure. Okay. So donations are we're reliant completely on donations.
We are. And like I said, so we did have our first grant that we got at the end of the year.
Yep.
And that was pretty amazing. And then then there are some grants that you have to be invited to apply. Yeah. So we got invited to apply for one in January. It was due like February 3rd. So Mary and I, Mary did such a great job writing it. She writes these, right?
Yeah.
But then she sends it back to me and I'm like, I got to add my part in there. I got to add my passion needs to come through because I am so passionate about this, and they need to understand, the story of where we're coming from and what's driving us to do what we're doing, and the help that we've been able to give so far. And so I think together, that was another good example of working together, of like doing a little wordsmithing here and adding something in here. And so we submitted that. We'll find out. You never know. And like she said to me, it's just good to go through the process.
Sure.
So we won't know until spring, but it'll be here soon enough. But to be invited, number one, was pretty amazing. And so we're on someone's radar. And then just going through, this is like a big grant process to go through to see what that's like. And so, like I said, we're really focused on, there are a lot of like donor advisor accounts that are out there that want to give to animal causes. So it's more just, how do you get your name out there? How do you get on someone's radar? How do they know what you're doing? And being here today is amazing. It's a great way to get the word out to someone who's never heard of us before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so exciting.
It's exciting.
I know.
And the animals, back to some of the success stories, Toni, if you don't mind, like we've done, I was looking at, some of the dogs that we've helped. We've done rehab. So people have gone through a surgery and now they need to go through hydrotherapy or physical therapy, whatever that looks like, laser therapy. We've helped a number of cases like that.
That's awesome.
We've done surgeries. So whether it has been an injury or whether it's been removal of a cancerous mass.
Yeah.
We've done those. And then we've got a total of 3, and we have a 4th applicant going through the process right now, but we have 3 dogs that we're helping with chemo.
Okay.
And like I said, we just got an application this week for another dog. We're just waiting for the treatment plan to come through.
Okay.
Yep.
So how much goes into like the this is a tough question.
A prognosis. It's a good question.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we do. And there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
I don't ask, and people have told me I'm kind of foolish, and maybe someday I'll change it. This is one of the discussions that can kind of come back and forth with the banter.
Sure.
I've had people coach me. I've had like informal mentors who said, you need to do good prognosis because it's only going to help your numbers and it's only going to help you.
Is it about the numbers or is it about the dog or cat?
When Izzie was diagnosed, she received a guarded diagnosis. And I remember never seeing that. So I said, what is that? And she said, I don't think she has a bad diagnosis, but she doesn't have a good one. It's guarded. And we have to see how she responds to treatment. But I do think there is treatment available for her.
Yeah.
So we do ask for a fair prognosis. Okay. I get that they can't, they remove a mass. Are they going to get all the margins out? We don't know that. Those are stories you don't know.
Sure.
But we do ask for at least a fair prognosis. And I did that really because if it were Izzie, if I had a good prognosis, she would not have been eligible. So I always say Izzie is the heart behind this charity. And it's not words. Like, I mean that. She is the heart behind this charity. The decisions I make, I do think about it.
Yeah.
I still talk to her.
Yeah.
I ask her to put the right people in my path, send the right people to me. So I do. I think she guides my decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I said, the team will help fine tune those decisions sometimes. So I'm making smart decisions too.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
There's so much thought that has gone into this beyond heart.
Yeah.
I can't even, and you work full time.
I work full time. I do. I'm a vice president of marketing and communication for a med tech company. So it is long hours. And it's a lot of hours. I think, starting off with the Izzie Fund, like anybody, and you probably can go through that, you could relate to this, you sort of gravitate to where your strengths are, right?
Oh, so for sure.
I could do marketing. I do social media. Megan and we share the social media. I do the newsletters that go out. But I realize as we grow, and so this is another great thing to talk about. If you're listening and you have a skill set you want to share, please, we need volunteers. So if you could do a newsletter for us, if you can do even my Giving Tuesday campaign, which is a huge campaign for us. I love doing these like little cards that I send out to our donors of like giving them an update, a pup date, I call it. This year we had an artist. She graduated high school. She was taking a year off to apply for art school. She was taking a gap year. And during that year, she wanted to try to fill her portfolio. She did an amazing job. And I could be picky, especially being in marketing, right? And so I kind of told her, I showed her things I had done in the past. And I said, I want you to be creative, but like, this is kind of the vibe I like. And she brought it to me and there were no changes. And that was the first time I was like, oh my God, I love this. It's so cute. She did such a cute job. It's like whimsical and just, I love what she did. And so she gets to add that to her portfolio. She gets to help us out. So if there is,
you had no changes.
No changes. None.
I think that's huge.
I think it's huge. I love it. And so it's nice to have working full time. You start to realize your limitations. I work nights. I work weekends. My husband is obviously a saint for like putting up with that. I have my laptop open. I feel like 24 hours a day. So it's a lot. And then we go to events. I'm at every single event too, for the most part. And
oh my gosh. So you need an events person too.
Yeah. Megan helps a lot with planning the events, but we need people to come to our events and help out. So I think, and we'll talk about the marathon a little bit too, but I think volunteering at our events, recommending people I should be talking to again, like if you know of anyone, another thing when you think about donations and what a charity at our size needs, I think sponsorship from businesses. That's another angle that we're taking, is working with trying to get, would you sponsor this event? And we've had, I guess I can name one here, but like Key Bank. Yeah. They did an event for us last year. It was amazing. And it was a private event.
Oh, I was there.
Oh, you were there.
It was amazing.
They invited like all their small business owners, other people, come in, learn more about the Izzie Fund. That kind of exposure and them, doing that for us was really, really amazing.
That's amazing.
It was really good. So I think some of our target are the smaller grants, like smaller, not national, big Walmart grants. And then looking to work with some of the bigger local organizations that can help sponsor some of our events would be really amazing to where we're at today as an organization.
Okay. All right. Well, think of Toni Unleashed when
I know I will.
Need something. Yes.
We always do. We always do.
Okay, so we covered your story. We covered donations. We covered grants.
Want to talk about how applying for assistance works?
Yes.
Because that's a big one too.
Yes.
People listening may have a need or know someone who has a need. So on our website, there is a section that says request assistance or request for assistance. But from there, it's a very quick form.
Okay.
So we'll have what's eligible. You read that first. Fill in your name, your contact information, a little bit about what's going on with your dog. And right now we are just a dog charity. I would love to take in more family pets, but as we're so small and growing, we're focused on dogs.
Okay.
So, because we do get cats applying, I feel terrible because I've grew up with all cats and I love cats too. But anyhow, you fill it in, it comes over to us. We'll look at it, make sure it's eligible. When it's eligible, we do send you a bigger application. It's not huge and it's really easy to fill in.
Okay.
So you'll fill that in. We do ask for, there's some income limits that you'll take a look at. So you'll submit kind of proof of income. And then we need the treatment plan from the veterinarian's office. And then our board looks at the application, the treatment plan, and then we move forward, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of applications?
We get spikes. So we were on Pittsburgh Today Live, and then, as I'm on the show, I felt my phone buzzing. It was like the applications were coming in. So we get spikes of applications. And I think the more that the veterinarian offices that we're working with hear about us, that's how we get cases as well too.
Yeah.
Or friends and word of mouth. But it's good to get it out too.
Sure. But it's also a time sucker.
It is. Yeah.
Which is money.
Yeah.
And volunteer time and all that kind of thing.
Yep.
So, okay. So, and then, can you give me a ballpark of what that scenario is? Say someone applies, then you do follow up and send them the follow-up paperwork. Are we looking at 1 month, 2 months, 3 months?
It's I think we're pretty fast. So what I like to do is I get notified as soon as as soon as it comes through, it notifies me from the computer,
of course.
from the website.
Of course.
So we reply within 24 hours. So that's kind of our guidelines. So within 24 hours, we will let you know if you're eligible or if you're not eligible. If you're not eligible, I always give other resources because there are other resources out there. Some of the larger national organizations, they cover everything. Let's say it's an emergency room, which I got that last week. I'm at the emergency room. Blue Pearl told me to call you guys. Here's my situation. And so I happened to see that come through and I hurried up and sent her a couple organizations that cover emergency care. But if it's eligible, if it's not eligible, let's go that route. I get back to them right away. If it looks like it's eligible, if it looks like, this meets our qualifications, we get them the application within 48 hours.
Okay.
And then once we have everything, a lot of the times it's more waiting for the treatment plan because they have an appointment coming up at the end of the month, which is a case right now where we're waiting for. I think it's the 25th she has an appointment with the oncologist. Once we get that back, we turn it around pretty quick because the board is small. It's truly just the three of us right now as the core board.
Yeah.
And so we have a shared folder where I put everything out there. I have the dog labeled. It's a folder. Send them the folder. Everybody reviews everything. We get together very quickly, talk through any follow-up questions that we have, and we're in business. Yeah.
Wow.
I would say if the applicant had everything right then and there, it's definitely within a week that we can turn it around. Right now. Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing.
It is. And it's good because a lot of the times if it may not be an emergency room situation, but you have a growing mass inside your dog's body. And so you want to get that surgery scheduled as soon as possible, or you want to figure out what is my treatment plan if I can't afford the surgery, what other alternatives are there. And so that's where we do try to have always a sense of urgency.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I think this is going to be a full-time gig for you one of these days.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I think it's become clear this is going to be a full-time gig. I had a guy, I'll tell you this story. Keep laughing. In the beginning, somebody had said, you got to talk to this gentleman. He was an attorney, the man who told me this, and he was referred by somebody who knew about me. So I didn't know this attorney. The attorney said, I have a guy, I'm working on his estate planning. And he said to me, I give to all these shelters and I give to these different organizations. It makes me so sad to see family owned dogs going into a shelter. I wish there was an organization. And he's like, I had heard about you through my friend who told me about you. So he said, this gentleman may call you to find out more.
Okay.
He's like, but it's not appropriate for you to reach out to us. That's okay. About a month later, I get a call and I wasn't expecting it. I picked it up and it was him. So he talked to me about the organization. He asked how we were structured. It kind of gets to that point of sustainability. And this is probably going back a year and a half now. And he said, let me ask you this. and I always tell this story because I tell my husband, this is like the $1 million question. He said, if I wrote you a check for $1 million, could your organization even handle that? And I'm like, it really is the $1 million question, right? Like, can we?
Whoa.
And so I thought Toni, that was my expression was, I have to let go of some of the day-to-day stuff. And I have to trust, I got to get the right board in place to take on some of these things, because I need to focus on building a strategy that could sustain if we were to get a check like that tomorrow.
You're the visionary in the company. At the end of the day, a lot of people don't realize this, but nonprofit organizations are businesses and have to be run as such. But your heart is first and your passion is first. But you're the visionary in your company.
Yeah.
You're the visionary of Izzie Fund. So that's where your time and brain power is best spent.
Yep. And so, I started working with someone who does, and again, pro bono, she does strategic planning, and she offered to work with me, but it was really built around that conversation.
Did we get that $1 million check?
Not yet. Hopefully he's living a long, long life. I hope he lives a long life. We're not wishing any bad, no bad juju. But but I did say, like, we got to get to that point where,
for sure,
how would we do what we do today with that? So that's really where the last year, I'd say, has been our focus, is starting to build the framework.
Yeah.
So that if that happened, we could pick up and we can make it happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's exciting.
But just him coming to you saying, I mean, that was a mentor moment. Like, that was a pivoting moment for you.
Oh, yeah.
So even though he didn't, or she didn't write that check, or whomever didn't write that check, it was still like a light bulb moment for you that really kind of...
It shifted. Yeah. It shifted my thinking. It takes you back to the beginning. Yeah. I'm scared. Yeah. Oh my God, if he wrote me a check for $1 million that day, it would be scary. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you have to stay out of your comfort zone. And that's exactly where it took me, is like, I've got to get involved in things that make me feel uncomfortable to grow the charity. Because I can't keep staying where I'm comfortable. I can't just keep doing the marketing and the social media. I got to shift myself and really focus.
We don't grow where we're comfortable.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So as hard as that is,
it's very, yeah.
Yeah. But I am thrilled. Like, the more I knew most of this, but I didn't know all of it.
Yeah.
And just talking to you, you can just feel the energy and feel Izzie and feel all of that. I mean, Bo's laying at our feet.
I know.
So,
calm as can be.
Calm as can be, right at your feet. And Layla is curled up over there. So they know.
Yes.
Yeah, they know.
Aww.
So, okay. Marathon.
Let's talk marathon. So this year, we've been at the Pittsburgh Marathon 2 years in the row. What we did is we would go on Saturday when they have the pet walk. So it's the kids race in the morning, the pet walk, and we'd have our booth up and, kind of have our booth there. And you had given us, you probably don't even know at your team.
What did I give?
You gave your Pittsburgh theme. We had a Pittsburgh themed dog basket with your toys.
Oh, with my toys.
Oh, yeah. So we had that. Probably ask for that again. So that was great. But we had some raffles there, and we did some fun. We did pet art there with paw prints, and really cute.
Yeah.
But we've been there, and then this year we've decided to jump in as one of the official charities. And so, being an official charity, it's a more responsibility. You're there both days. So we'll have a booth on Saturday still. And then on Sunday, we volunteer. So we need 10 volunteers. I think we're down to one spot. So again, on our website, go out there. But for the charity, I'm so excited. Our job for the charity, so you could be at maybe a water station. You could be wherever, handing out the packets at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. We're at the finish line.
It's amazing.
I'm so excited. That makes me so happy when I saw that come through.
So what will you be doing at the finish line?
I don't know exactly, but we'll be there. We'll be there. And we'll be ready for it. Whatever they tell us to do, we'll do. So we just got our assignments, and we had to fill 10 spots for that. But we do still need volunteers Saturday if you want to come down and help volunteer. Like I said, we usually do the kid pet and pet art, because the toddler and the kids marathon is beforehand. So for a small donation, we have the canvases there. You could do a hand, like we draw Megan draws all the little flower stems. We do a paw print or a hand print, and it's always right before Mother's Day weekend. So if you're fortunate to have your mom, you could do your little Mother's Day present for her, for the kids, or the fur mamas, as I am. But so that for the marathon, it's just really exciting to be a part of it.
Yeah,
we are still looking for sponsors. So if there are companies out there listening that want to sponsor the shirts that we're wearing, because those cost money, like things cost money. And that's where, initially the very first year of operation, my husband and I, we did everything. We paid for everything. And then again, I got my mentor advice. You cannot do that. It needs to run out of the charity.
It does.
Yes. So it's very noble, but stop. And so I was like, all right. So we try to really operate very, very lean so that almost all of the money coming in goes to the dogs in the program. But again, we do need our branded shirts. We need the canvas. We do our events. And again, we take donations to help us with those. But business sponsorship is great too, to be a sponsor of this year's marathon. We're still looking for a sponsor.
How many shirts do you need?
Well, I can tell you, we probably need about 20. Yeah. Yeah. So not too many.
It's
not
too
nothing
many.
crazy. No, but we did have, by the way, and I should say this, J&J Landscaping, they're here local.
Yeah.
The owner is Jared Johnson. I've known Jared for a very long time. He did sponsor our booth for Saturday. So he's sponsoring the booth for the pet walk. The other thing I would mention is if anyone is participating in any of the events, it does not need to be the marathon.
Yeah.
You have to please check us as your charity so you can get back your registration fee. There are, they require you, if you're running, walking, the pet walk's included. So let's use the pet walk, for example. If you sign up for the pet walk and you raise $50, you get back your registration fee.
Oh,
so they set limits. It's the,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's called Run for a Reason, and it's actually sponsored by KeyBank. So they set limits of what you should be raising. And so for the dog walk, $50 is very reasonable to raise. And if you raise that, the money comes directly to us. And then they pay it back, Run for a Reason, by reimbursing your registration fee.
Cool.
So we have a total of, we're supposed to have 25 runners. They're kind of giving me a little bit of a grace this year because we're new and we're small.
Yeah.
We're very small.
Yeah.
But we've got a total of 8 runners right now on our team. So runners, walkers, the kids race, any of those races going on all weekend long, you can select us. And we have all the information on our website as well. But when you're running, if you are out there and you're signing up or thinking about signing up, there'll be a drop down saying, are you running for a charity? And if you select yes, we are the Izzie Fund. So go to the T's first, the Izzie Fund, and we're out there for you to select us.
And that's all they have to do.
So all they have to do when they get, when they finish their registration, they get an email from Race Roster. That's, I guess, the company that handles that. And you do have to select us again to make sure you're on our team. And but normally once I find out that I have a new runner, I get an email that says, you have a new runner. I send you an email. So be on the lookout for my email, just reminding you, go out and make sure that you are on our team and you can fill out your fundraising page.
And you can the runner though can solicit for more money, right?
Yes. So they have a fundraising page.
They want. Yeah.
Yes. I wish they would. Yeah. So they say they have a fundraising page and they make it really easy. Race Roster is the one that creates the fundraising page for them. So you could upload it with your picture, a little bit about why you're running for the Izzie Fund. You don't even have to put that in. I think it automatically defaults to our mission, but there's a share button and you could share it so easily to a bunch of different social media accounts. I
think that's might be the only apprehension that people don't realize. They don't have to raise money.
Yeah.
Additionally, just putting your charity there is beneficial to you.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
But it's the cherry on the top if they if they also solicit a little bit of and click a little more buttons and ask friends and family to support you in your run.
Yep.
And you're supporting the Izzie Fund and that would raise more money.
It would. And it just even the brand awareness of getting us out there and having us, fill up our runners page.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Be great.
All right. Did we miss anything?
No, I think we covered so much. This is great.
Okay.
I feel like a therapy session. Walked it. Boy, it's interesting though when you walk back through from that very, very last kiss to Izzie all the way to where we're at today. It makes me happy because it's so easy. I just told my niece just opened up a little solo salon, her own salon, and and I told her I was getting my hair done yesterday, and I told her, I said it's easy to look at some of the bigger players, some of the bigger charities, and you see what they're doing and you see who's sponsoring them and you see like all of this, and it really can be a distraction.
Yeah.
So I was giving her that advice yesterday. I said, even me, like I'm a really confident person, but like it can hit you like, oh, look at they got so-and-so to do this. Like you've got to like put the blinders on, and just as long as you know what you're doing it with all your heart and all your hard work.
Yep.
It's gonna be okay. You're right where you're supposed to be. And to your point, am I gonna be done working someday and just focus on this and it's gonna look very, very different? Yeah. But I can't do that today. So I got to focus on what can I do today to just keep taking little steps forward every single day. But like going again from that last kiss to now, like, wow, like yay for us that we've come this far. And there's a farther way to go, but it's the little steps that get you there.
So far in not even 3 years yet.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
You've come so far.
Yeah, but it's easy to get distracted, right? And that's the advice I'd give to anybody. I give it to my own family. Like you just stay focused on where you're at today and what can you do today to get you a little bit further for tomorrow.
To your end goal.
Yep.
It's very easy. And I remember when Chewy launched, I freaked out when Chewy launched, but then I'm like, no. Nope. They don't have the service. They don't have this. Yeah. They don't have
blinders
that.
on. A little bit, right? You gotta peek. You always got to peek, but like focus.
And it takes a lot of control of your mind and not letting your mind drift.
Yeah, exactly.
And just working hard and one little step at a time, and bam, bam, bam.
Yep.
I know that you will be full time.
Thank you, Toni.
I know.
Thanks for your support. This is that one little step today, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks
I'm
for
so
supporting
happy.
us. Thanks for having us today.
I'm happy we have the connection. I'm happy we have the relationship. I'm here for it and happy to help in any way that I can.
I appreciate it.
So IzzieFund.org.
TheIzzieFund.org.
The Izzie Fund. The IZZIE Fund.org is the main website. Social media channels are
same. The Izzie Fund.
The Izzie Fund.
On Instagram and Facebook. We're mostly active. We're very, very active on Instagram. It kind of seems to be our go-to, but definitely we're out on Facebook too.
Yep. So I think the hardest thing to remember is it's IE, not Y.
Yes. It'll take you somewhere else. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You don't want to go there.
And marathon is when?
Weekend of the 3rd and the 4th, May 4th and 5th, maybe.
Okay.
I should know that. I'm sorry.
Weekend of May.
First weekend of May. April 6th is our birthday benefit.
Yep.
At the dog pen. We still have some spots left. We're about 50% because there was a limit on dogs that can be there. So we're about 50% through registration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me here and coming to my house and my studio.
Yes.
So
thank you.
We are going to call it a wrap. Thanks for joining us. Please give us a 5-star review. Please share this episode with friends and family. The IzzieFund.org, the IZZIE Fund.org is where you want to go. Bye for now.